The world's ugliest dog? What if an asteroid hits us in 14 years? And hey, remember to look both ways when moving a 400-ton apartment building down the street. Hey, I'm Greg Ott, and we've got all sorts of weird and interesting news stories coming your way right now on your daily news refresh. Before we get going, give us a like and a hot subscribe to tell the algorithm you want more stuff like this in your feed each and every day. Thanks. So let us begin with a bunch of ugly dogs.
The world's ugliest dog is...
They say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but on Friday in Petaluma, California, yeah, imperfections were in full demand at an ugly dog contest that dates back to the 1970s. It's an annual animal affair that takes place at the Sonoma Marin Fair. And to be clear, as stated in bold on their website, the world's ugliest dog contest is not about making fun of ugly dogs, but about having fun and showing the world that these dogs are really beautiful. We haven't all been blessed with the good looks and charm of Spuds MacKenzie, you know. This event promotes adopting dogs from shelters rather than breeders, and they say that many of the contestants have been rescued from places like puppy mills.
He's never had a haircut, so that is like the way he is, and she shaves his stomach, and he likes to sleep on ice packs, believe it or not, and he is just a sweet dog. I was just holding him, and he loves to be held and cuddled, so that's part of it. You know, these rescue dogs, they just need forever homes, so please adopt, don't shop.
That's one of the ugly dog contest judges, aka the state treasurer of California, and she's referring to Wild Thang here, an 8-year-old Pekingese rescue dog that caught a viral disease as a puppy that causes his tongue to do that. But beyond his physical appearance, Wild Thang's owner says the good boy is healthy and happy, and he finally took home top prize after years and years of runner-up finishes.
Wild Thing was a fan favorite, and the fact that he had been competing for 5 times and only came in second, it's kind of like the bridesmaid and never the bride. I think, you know, really tugged at our heartstrings that, you know, he deserved to win.
Upon being named World's Ugliest Dog, Wild Thang and its owner were presented with a huge trophy and a check for $5,000. Huh, now that looks good to me. Hey, what if there's a 72% chance of me smashing into the Earth in 14 years? That's a question NASA, FEMA, and a bunch of other people who'd prefer to keep the Earth intact as is recently explored. They do this thing every few years called the Planetary Defense Interagency Tabletop Exercise. Rolls right off the tongue. And this year they explored the scenario that on July 12, 2038, there would be a nearly 3 in 4 chance that the Earth would be struck by a huge asteroid, possibly in Washington, D.C. Not great, not terrible. Now, to be clear, this was just a pretend exercise. You don't need to cancel your plans to celebrate National French Fry Day 14 years from now. But NASA says they do these exercises from time to time to help assess our ability as a nation to respond to the threat of a potentially hazardous near-Earth object. A full report on the findings from this exercise will come out later this year, and NASA says they're still working on an infrared space telescope to discover and categorize guys like me that they hope to launch by 2028. Though in this little presentation they put out, they do note that sustaining some kind of space mission response, even with a 14-year heads up, could be tricky due to budgets, changes in political leadership, and, you know, just general world events. But hey, don't worry about the likes of me. There's plenty of concerts to keep you preoccupied these days. Gotta go. Moving sucks. According to one recent survey of 1,000 Americans, 45% of respondents said moving is the most stressful event in life. 1% more than those who said going through a breakup or a divorce. So even though your girlfriend dumped you and moved out, sounds like she's actually the one in bad shape here, right? Now, these aren't exactly surprising findings when you consider that survey was commissioned by a moving company, but hey, if you think moving apartments is stressful, try moving apartments.
I've never seen anything like it, really.
We're actually here videotaping it for our grandsons because we promised them.
This is video from last week in Madison, Wisconsin, where a 400-ton, 4-story apartment building was hoisted up from the ground and wheeled slowly, ever so slowly, down the street.
It hasn't moved too much in the last 5 hours?
Yeah, it's a process a bit more involved than Tetrising your love seat into a U-Haul. And the team moving the thing had to contend not just with making sure they had the right number of tires, but grapple with power lines, utilities, and Mother Nature herself.
There was a big tree that nobody took into account that had to be removed.
Now, this building isn't moving because they really didn't like their neighbors. A bunch of buildings on that block are being raised to make room for a much larger apartment building. And rather than tear the place down, the building's owner decided to schlep the thing down the street to another property a block and a half away.
I couldn't say no. So, here we are, and having it out on the street, it's a good thing. And to save this building, it's a really good thing.
This whole hefty haul to get this home to its new home cost about $500,000. Forbes says the average cost nationwide to hire movers for a 3-bedroom home is about $2,200. But again, you probably don't have 400 tons worth of stuff. Of course, if you're looking for a place to love, cherish, and come back to day after day, why not subscribe to @TheNewsRefresh on YouTube? We put out all sorts of weird and interesting news stories each and every day. And if you like this vid and subscribe, you'll get more on your feed on a daily basis. My name is Greg Ott, and let us know what you think of this video in the comments. Like if you hate close-ups of my face, like that one guy said the other day. Thanks.